My name is Sofia. I'm also known as a Mama T. 51 years old, married with 2 teenagers, boy and a girl. The inspiration of all this, because I've been in a people business for the past, I would say, 15 to 20 years. And these days getting so many questions from the newcomers and facing all this economical crisis, uncertainty. They're asking for advice, help. And I just to open up this YouTube channel. Hopefully it will be helpful to people listening to what I went through, my path from moving to Canada up to date. Life in Macedonia was beautiful. Like growing up, coming up from a wealthy family, well-traveled. My late father, he was PhD geologist. My mom was accountant. To the neighboring Greece, weekend spending technically for a coffee there. Lots of friends. We had even days of our life when we were hitchhiking to get to the point, which that one is awful, even over there too. But the war that happened in Yugoslavia back in early 90s, it technically made me thinking about leaving my home country. I was always trying to be close to home, and I did even try for Germany and Netherlands, but it was no way immigrating there. So the next place to be, it was Canada, because my mom, she has brothers and other cousins, lots of relatives in here. Moved to Canada, it was a special journey. Back in 1994, when we were invited for a wedding, and none of my family members, neither mom or dad, were able to travel. My sister was still in school. I was the one who was available upon getting the visa. And that's exactly what happened. I clearly remember that was back in 1994 with a very close friend of mine, my classmate. The Canadian embassy was in Belgrade, the capital of Yugoslavia. We traveled to Belgrade, me and him, and that happened on his birthday, August 17th, when I got the visa, right? So, and lucky, we were around 40 to 50 people that day looking for a visa, and only 2 of us got it. Yeah, that was a very special day, August 17th. We were planning to do lots of visiting places in Belgrade while I was waiting for my passport to be ready for pickup, but we changed our mind. As soon as passport was ready, I went, picked it up, drove back to Macedonia, and believe it or not, I was in Canada on 26th of August 94. Like within a week, I made that decision and arrived in Canada. Do not even tell you, when I was coming here, I didn't even speak English. Right, that was the biggest thing for me, arriving at the place, because of course we were in a socialist country. I had my language, Macedonian, as a mother language, and Russian. Right, there was no option for anything else. I was 20 when I moved here, and they just let me go. My family was waiting for me at arrivals, my uncle and 2 cousins, and all started from there. I was basically a visitor for a couple of months, right? And decision was already made that I want to stay in Canada. So a good friend of my uncle helped me out with filling up the forms, all the applications. We applied in Buffalo for it because it had to be outside Canada. I was called for an interview, right? It was a very successful interview. I got my permanent residence, and basically my life, right, like with permanent residence started then. That was 11th of April. My very first job, it was at the airport as a snack bar attendant. I was working for a bit of corporation, and that was going up until 1999. Then the contract was over, and that was it. It was no more bid of so many other companies. Right after that, I had a good friend of mine who helped me getting a job in custom marketing as an office assistant in a travel department. Then sadly, September 11 happened. Then the travel industry was the one who suffered the most. And of course, we were all laid off. I was was unemployed for a year. I was getting EI, and I was working in restaurants as a waitress. Then I got a job in collections, right? I was a collector for a good, I would say 4 or 5 years. I was there. 2003, I was attending one of our conventions that Macedonians had, and that year was a convention in Indiana. That was the year when I met my husband, father of my children. We met, and I did a couple travels back and forth because he was living in Chicago back then. And we decided to get married. Obviously, he didn't have settled status in States. So he moved to, I sponsored him, and he moved to Canada. That was the year of 2003, April, when he moved to Canada, and we got married August 16th of 2003. He is a plumber, right? He's been in plumbing since the little kid, like his grandfather fathered him. He got his license. He started working for a company. But when he got his immigration status, he opened up his own. Then Philip was born, my son, at November 8, 2006. Yeah, that's Scorpio. Typical. I was still working in the collections. I was on maternity. And after I went back, and then 2009, when my daughter was born, that was it. But in the meantime, I was working with the immigration lawyer, right? I had even my office in Macedonia. Like, we were helping people immigrating to Canada, work, student, or like permanent resident visas. And I was about getting my immigration consulting license. But what happened though, that was, I believe it was a 2010. And Alex was running already his own company, and one of his general contractors was gathering all the trades for a Christmas lunch. And of course, he also invited the partner spouses of the guys. So I attend that one with him. And finally, we had such a good conversation. He goes, "Finally, Sophia, I met you." And we started chatting what I'm doing beside doing all the admin for the business. And I said, "Well, that's a good question, Ro. I'm doing this about the immigration stuff, but I'm just about to get my license." He just gave me that look and said, "Forget about immigration license. You are born to be a realtor." Never ever thought before. We got home, and I go to Alex, "Well, you are in construction." He was right. Why don't get my real estate license? So I open up that OREA, and like, you know what, next day I already signed up for getting my license. I had a little bit of a late delay on it because my father passed away in 2012. I was a little bit off. But life is life. I'm a parent, right? So I have to move on with my life. And I got that early 2013. I was fully licensed, and I've been doing real estate since. Real estate after COVID, through COVID and up until 2022, it was booming, great, right? Selling left, right, and center, sells, buy, invest. But from 2022, when Bank of Canada started increasing the interest rates, real estate was going down and down, and even now, like downhill. But you know what? Real estate, it's a typical industry in a roller coaster. You're up and down. So we're just hoping to get up pretty soon. Because right now, whole economy, look at even the construction, right? Developments are paused, uncertainty, tariffs, what's gonna happen. We don't have like a federal government. We're just waiting for elections. Hopefully something positive will happen soon. This is my very first video. Hopefully many more will come, and it will be helpful to people. And please don't hesitate to reach out, to drop a comment, ask questions, and I'm here to help. And remember, Mama T is always here to talk.